So, hello. Thank you for tuning in. This is Daniel from Being Alive Now, and today it will be in English, and it's about the art of being a gentleman. And today, Daniel Dick is my guest.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for showing up and taking the time. And you want
So,
to introduce yourself?
yes, my name is Daniel. I'm author of, of this book, Sex, Masculinity, and God, which introduced myself into men's work. I'm a life coach. I give retreats for men, and I have a very scientific or academic path, consciousness research, social and cultural anthropology, and system science. And I'm a father, a lover, a partner, and I love motorcycling.
Yeah, we just had this in the prep talk about him making me really fiery and going for motorcycling again.
Yeah, springtime is
Right.
calling.
Yeah, and it's really nice to have you. And our connection is like Daniel has been a part of the core team at Bruderfest, or in English it's Brother Celebration, a gathering of brothers, and we had it 3 years in Austria. And he has been in the development and also being the core team there and sharing his gifts and his medicine on the gatherings, or on one gathering. And I asked Daniel if I shared a vision with him. From the brother celebration came a next step, and this was the art of being a gentleman. And I shared
Mm.
the title with him, and he was like, "Yes, I'm listening." So there was this response. So I was like, "Okay, I go with that response and ask him, do you want to have an interview about this term gentleman? What does it mean for you? What is it? How does it feel?"
Mm.
Because, and so I'm at the moment, I'm doing different interviews with different people, facilitators, about this term to bring more light into this maybe very old school term, maybe not. So
Yes,
this is why we're here together, gather together as brothers and dive into gentleman, the art of being a gentleman.
yes.
Yeah.
And I loved how you split that. It is like the gentle man.
Yeah.
And one reason that I was curious about to hear what you're up to is that I have been thinking about the gentleman like 1 or 2 years ago as something worth to revive
Mm.
because there is no contemporary gentleman. Yeah. And there's value in being a gentleman, not only for the man itself, but especially for the woman, for the polarity. When you are a gentleman, it's someone who respects the female side. Yeah. And I love to think about how to kind of regenerate this term and this behavior. Um,
Yeah, it's beautiful how you spell it out. It's also for me this. I had it once with a tantric teacher, a female one, and I opened the door for her, and she was like, "Oh, I like men of with the with of the old school, with this old attitude of open holding doors open." I was like, "Ah, yeah, interesting, okay." And it was my intuition doing this. And there was also this, hey, there's value in it. And there is
mm,
something about this term, gentle, tender, but and focused. And so like there's this masculinity and femininity both together, coming together. So for me, it's a perfect expression. And in German, we don't have a term for it. At least I don't know yet. I just know the English gentleman, but in German, I didn't find anything that it's would go there
mm,
into this term. So I also found it interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
And but yeah, how to regenerate, how to like have a modern gentleman. What is it? What is the attitude? What is the values? What is the behavior? What is the embodiment of a modern
Yeah.
gentleman?
Yes, yes, yes. And I think there is a lot which is like where the masculine physical advantage could be really used as being a gentleman, as just like carrying bags and stuff like that. And I'm old school in that. And on the other hand, there's this part of being gentle as being able to, yeah, not only have like a wild side, but having this power, but also the ability to be gentle with it. You know, it happens, for example, to me that I have to think about two experiences. One that I had a coaching with a woman that she was like in her 60s, and she was like the one woman show, raising kids, having a company, and having another garden that she was taking care of the heritage of her parents and so on. And she was like, I can't do this anymore. At the point that I broke was when how it's called Rasenmäher, when she wanted to
The
one
lawn.
garden to hmm? One
A lawnmower. Mow the lawn.
lawnmower. Yeah, the lawnmower broke, you know, and she had to carry this heavy thing because the garden is somewhere else.
Mm.
And that was the moment that she broke, because she was, I can't carry this, you know. I'm too old for this, I can't do everything. And what you really said is like, yeah, I need a man, you know, just to carry this heavy machine down to the car to repair it, you know, where she can relax because it's all time tension, if you have to keep up with everything. And the other part that reminds me about being a gentleman is a very, very, yeah, it's not a big story, but it was actually also working in the garden and having to make holes, holes that someone else can put a plant inside,
Yeah.
you know. And I was doing the holes, and you need like this force to make this hole, and then but holding the earth so that someone else can put the plant in. So then you can put the earth back,
Mm.
you know. So you have to be very precise with holding the earth back so that you can put it out. And she said, wow, I never felt so comfortable about being someone very strong in putting the earth out and very gentle in holding it, you know, and putting it back. Yeah. I think there is this nice combination about having power, but exercising it gently, because you can have a lot of power, like motorcycling, but you can be rude about it and go wild and you just don't, yeah, it's like you don't behave. It's like you can't control it. But if you have the power, and there is a lot of power, and you can have it tamed, so you can be even gentle about it. And that's where like the sweetness, I think, from the gentleman comes, where even if there is like strong psyche, strong muscles, whatever, you know, that you can control it in a way that it's caressing, and that it's sweet,
Yeah.
that is appropriate to something that can be delicate.
This is
Mm.
but mastering this strength. or in Qigong it is soft power, like water has this soft power. It's very powerful, but it's
Mm.
soft and tender at the same time.
Yeah.
And also, there's these sports cars, you remember what you said, who has a lot of horsepower, but they're not these fast, but they're so fluent, so gentle. But if you need the power, it's there.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
go cruising with it, you don't go on high speed all the time. So there's also this a lot of capacity, but not used all the time because it's not necessary. Just when it's necessary, and then not in a
Mm.
harsh way, in a way, but really having this mastery about this internal power.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yes. Yes.
So for me, when I studying the Tao Te Ching, I come to so many phrases where it's exactly for me about this thing of what is a gentleman for me.
Mm-hmm.
Having strength, but having this focus, this concentration, and this gentleness and tenderness. Like martial arts, you train to never fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this art form, this art of really, and this is why it's also juicy for me, the art and the being and this gentle. And the
Yeah.
man, not somebody who is only hypersensitive and feeling like watery and no fire inside, but having the both coming together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's also this German saying, in der Ruhe liegt die Kraft,
Yeah.
which
In
is in
silence, there's
English,
power. In the
in
silence lies
silence
the power
or in calmness
or the
is the
calmness. Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that it is about,
Yeah.
that you don't go crazy, you don't go wild, but there is the power of the wild,
Yeah.
but you can hold it in stillness,
Yeah.
you can hold it in centeredness.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think that the centeredness also resonates in me, and it came up a person I know. So he's an old Aikido, and he's a body worker, and he's like 65, I think, when I met him. But he was so his body was so he was always doing the work in the with the trees and everything, and holding these sensitive prenatal spaces for people to rebirth
Mm.
and stuff. And I was like so fascinated by him, having
Mm.
this power and at the same time this sensitivity and all in one package.
Mm. Mm.
He's still
Mm.
alive. He made tremendous books, and he's like, and that also was like, wow, yeah, that's come together. And when he undressed, wow, his body was really like, I was like, he's 65, looks like this.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, just from doing the trees and chopping the wood for our oven here to keep us warm. And I was like, okay, well,
Chop the wood,
yeah,
carrying water.
carry water, chop wood.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, one question rises to me
Yeah,
into me is like how to cultivate it, you know, how to cultivate this raw power into gentle power. First of all, like most of the people are not in touch with the power.
yeah,
When they are, it's they can't hold it. You know. So on one hand, you have to be able to step into your power and not being afraid of it, because that's what keeps most people away from stepping into the power. They could harm themselves, they could harm other people, they might do things that other people don't like, and so on. If they step into the power, or they would like go over the boundaries of someone else. But that's like the other move. It's like, where do you put yourself, the boundaries of your power, you know, to hold it? And I think that's also where the king archetype is
Yeah,
essential when it comes to a gentleman,
yeah,
where there is power, but there are also borders, boundaries.
yeah,
There is a realm to protect, and it's also the realm of his power. And I think there's a sweet spot in like having this protective mechanism of boundaries for oneself and for others, in which the power can unfold, can can be something that can thrive, um, and that is not hurtful for anyone, but that is something that empowers.
yeah,
um, And it is also important to have the boundaries because your power is always something that kind of is in front of someone else's power. You know? And this is where two boundaries meet.
yeah.
You know, and this is where two individuals meet. Sometimes I find, especially like in spiritual, um, in the spiritual scene, like they're saying, okay, if you can imagine, you can do everything, you know. And it's true, you know, we are in the matrix where everything can be made up, but there's someone else besides of you, you know, and you can't do everything because there's someone else, you know, and he might think or she might think the same. And then you overpower, and this is where the misuse of power comes into place, or when the cross boundaries. You know, sometimes everybody feels, yeah, we are so connected, we are one, but at the same time, we don't respect boundaries. You know, because maybe we don't want the same. And especially in the work as being a life coach, it is so important for me to empower the people because I try that they can come up with their answers in themselves. I don't give any instructions other than my questions
Mm.
to to find out where the answer is. And this is an interesting combination between, on one hand, you want to have power, on the other hand, you want to empower, and you want to keep good boundaries so that we can go along, live along, be in family, in partnership, in community, and so on. So there is much to balance.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mm.
This is not like for me, this is like this, okay, putting the term on, putting the attitude, and then seeing, okay, what is needed to accomplish this. This is would also
Mm.
be like, okay, become your martial art master in a weekend course. No, at least 10 years of training. Yeah, to master some, or 20, 30. I met people who are practicing for 40 years and still say, hey, I'm a beginner. And this mastering, but having this like a North Star, okay, what could it be? And what is necessary and what are the next step? And then, of course, no, I'm not finished with that, but then the journey starts, like having a
Mm.
direction into something where I feel, yeah, that resonates with me, having soft power to empower others and
Mm.
having
Mm.
the powers to have a clear, not further.
Yeah.
Wherever,
Yeah.
whatever is necessary, whatever is needed, and to give this perspective to and to let people feel that.
Mm.
And I have a
Yeah.
feeling for some, this term gentleman does not resonate at all. It's more a, "Oh, what do you want?" And for others, there's a deep resonance inside of them, a longing maybe.
Mm.
to go into mastering these different perspectives.
Yeah. What are gentlemen's that you can think of the past that have a quality to embrace gentlemanness?
I'm so bad
What do you?
with names. I had like some pictures before me before. I
Yeah,
think Sean Connery
Sean Connery. Yeah,
was one where
and
I had this, and there's some others where I'm like, ah. But honestly, they have been like the ones who have pictures are like really years, also centuries ago.
mm,
Like right now, but I'm not into celebrities. I have no idea, about what is at the moment. It's a long time. But right now, I would say, I don't know if they're really already existing some or hiding somewhere or if there is on a stage.
yeah. I don't know, but Sean Connery, I would also mention on one of the
Yeah,
first
Keanu Reeves would be another one for me.
Keanu Reeves.
I
Yes,
resonate a lot with his, yeah.
yeah,
Also, these actors, I don't know how they are, private behind the scenes. So there's a lot more. It's like also this an image, and then who is behind, who is really on his
yeah,
private personal life. How is it there and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. But I was looking like for quality that are there to pinpoint the gentlemanness
Hmm.
a bit better. And it's something like this Mona Lisa smile of Sean Connery, you know, which has on one hand this inner knowing, you know, like this, yeah, and self-confidence in it,
Yeah.
this inner knowing of self-confidence, but at the same time, a not too hidden humbleness. Yeah, because it's like this, okay, you open the door, it's like a gesture
Yeah.
of serving,
Yeah.
you know, or but there's also this Mona Lisa smile of gentleness, of being in silence, yeah, and in this knowing of calmness, it's like, yeah, whatever goes around, I just smile and sit here and waiting things come back, you know. So things can go wild around me and people might go crazy, but I'll lean back and smile so that everything calms down. I don't know how to describe it better,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, for me, it has this being responsive, like being available, being with the full capacity, but not
mm,
putting it on people, but being there and responsive. And there's something to do. Okay. Or there's to take care of or something. But being like in the middle of a hurricane, what you described,
yeah,
it's everything's
very
around you,
centered.
and you're available, but you don't
Mm,
put your service on somebody. You are there. And when it
yeah,
hits you, you're there. And then you also go back like as I don't know if it's correct with the samurai, but having this, there's a battle to fight, and then you retreat again. You don't stay in this mode. No, it's necessary for a short time, and then you go back to your farm and do your farming or whatever. When
mm,
you're called in, you're like responsive call, you're available. So this availability from this
yeah,
inner clarity and radiating this presence through your body. Yeah,
mm,
being the present moment. Yeah, and
yeah,
really radiating through your system, the embodiment. So everybody around is like, oh, I
yeah,
can lean my head on, or I can just relax, or animals are like,
mm,
resonating. Like horses are very resonating with your inner peace.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is
And I think
yeah,
I was thinking about one situation that I met a friend just occasionally on the train station, and she was up to a flight, so she
yeah,
had a very heavy bag. And it's just from the impulse, being a father, you always carry a lot of things, and we have also stairs going up. So I always said, "Can I carry your bag?" And she wouldn't allow me to. And she's in her 60s. The bag wasn't too heavy, but still like a big bag. And she wouldn't allow it. And it's kind of like the, I think one of the biggest um, obstacles, you know, to be able to be a gentleman, that you also need the other part that allows you being a gentleman, you know, that if someone offers you to be of help, of support, then you can actually take it, or leave your bag in someone else's hands, and I think there is so much mistrust, like very unconscious, of a female side, that I can't let go, or I have to be strong, or I have to do it on my own. I have to be strong, and everything is on my shoulders. That most of the biggest obstacles being a gentleman might be not only the man, but actually the woman. Mm.
What you're speaking is the receptivity to receive.
Yeah,
And I also, when you made this example, I had this in my, okay, for me, like my attitude would be here like, you offer this as a gentleman, and if it's not received, that's totally fine.
yeah,
And I'm not, oh, I cannot stay in my male side because you're not receiving me. But no, I offered, I made the thing, I'm available,
mm.
and maybe then, hey, okay, I'm available. If you want me to carry back, you can always ask me on the way, and I will be there. So having
Yeah,
this non-reactivity, this being in peace with the decision of the other one, my service is not received, and
and
that's totally fine.
but just the question was
Yeah.
the act
What?
of just the question
Yeah.
about can I carry your bag,
Yeah.
you know, might be the act of being a gentleman,
Yeah.
just being attentive.
Yeah. Full. Exactly.
And it's so old school, carrying bag, open the door. That's like just the gesture. And I was thinking about, I mean, I love to be that kind of old school, you know, but I was thinking about, is there something more contemporary, modern to it, you know, where we can say, wow, okay, that might be like a contemporary art of being a gentleman, you know,
Yeah.
how
Also, this
to
is,
to make this gesture in our times.
I think these old, let's say, old gestures are still valid and in a way like an embodiment of a gesture. And
Yeah,
at the same time, to have this, what you mentioned that, okay, what is the subtle or just by how to ask question, how to be available, how to make like, or being a provider, being really, hey, I love to provide. Do you want to receive? Or do
yeah,
you want by caretaking of other families, of other people, like
yeah.
having this, for me, the masculine has a natural tendency to provide and take care.
It's about the caring part. Yeah,
And having this, and mostly about your family, about your closest ones, of course. But
yeah.
having this extended to like a broader audience of, hey, I'm here, but I'm not putting it on you. Like also these boundaries of, I'm not your
Mm.
rescuer. I'm just here
Yeah.
if you, and this is, so having this, and this is like also a fluid, a
The
liquid
gesture of giving.
state.
Yeah,
Yeah, of and with the door, I want it came two times to me. One in a
yeah,
blog I read, he was like, "Yeah, if you open the door and the person can easily go through, perfect. But if you open the door for somebody and he's a long way ago and he's pressured to run so he can go through, you're not a gentleman because you're pressuring somebody to hurry up. So also having
Yeah.
this has both sides, this when is it like fluent and when it's not putting pressure on someone to take your offer. There's also
Yeah.
this side where it's finding, wow, that's really delicate to have this
Yeah.
awareness and attentiveness and
Mm.
but
Yeah.
so this is why
For
I
me,
say art.
I came up with two experiences from my family.
Yeah.
Like one thing that my partner actually asked me to be more attentive is about she loves drinking tea,
Huh.
you know. And so just asking, do you want to have tea and prepare it, you know. And the other thing was just yesterday evening, for example. Um, I just asked her, what would be your dream evening?
Mm,
You know, if you would just have an evening that is exactly what you wanted, how would that look like?
mm.
And she actually said, well, so tired, I would just go to sleep at 9, you know. I said, okay, fine. Well, what has to happen? Well, I have to help with the kids. So I was bathing the small one and brushing her teeth while she could prepare for sleep. And so she went at 9 to sleep. And an act of serving, yeah, an act of being attentive, of asking what is needed, how can I serve to, yeah, to make someone else comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's,
comfortable, safe, trust. Yeah, like
mm,
providing something that on the recipient side is this, oh, I can relax, I can, the tension in my shoulders, it goes, oh, yeah. And then it's
yeah,
this, wow, I provide something, and the other one is like having these benefits, which then go to the relationship, of course, again, because less tension in the system, less reactivity on certain triggers. And this
yes.
ease that then starts to be there. Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's a lot with providing. This is
It
like,
is about providing, it is about being in service, and it is about comforting
mhm.
someone and also appreciating, you know. It is this appreciation through comforting. You make someone comfortable. That is also something very gentlemanlike. If you can make someone else feel comfortable
Yeah.
by appreciating her. Mm,
And also yourself. So not like forgetting yourself. No, but like providing and comforting
yeah.
others and myself, and also being clear, okay, this is, yeah, I love to do that. This is also like, uh-huh. Or is it like coming from a different thing of like, I do everything? Yeah, so there's also
Mm,
this, does it come from
without
a
losing the
balance,
center.
from a center again?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
exactly.
this is, so having your own center and from there, and having your own fire nourished, your own fire burning and nourished, and there's enough wood and it's dry, and you take care of your fire, and then from this place is easy
Mm.
or easier, let's say.
And there is no disappointment, there's no overdoing if you are centered. Yeah.
Let's say should not be. Yeah, and if it's
Yeah.
overdoing, having this calibration of okay, the feedback of that was maybe too much. Yeah, so also to finding always this equilibrium inside yourself, I think, is like this task coming to the middle ground. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And for me, it's like there's this vision or the thing, and then to research and to experiment and to say, okay, what is then comforting? Like for me, would be touch. Yeah, for female thing, touch. okay, how does a woman to be touched or the feet massage that she's like, ah, yeah. So there's touch, there is like cooking, nourishment, there is like presence, there's like listening, deep listening, how the art of listening. So there's like for me different skills that give an immediate sense of ease into a relationship, into with different people, and then to go further, to refine, to also find your individual gentleness, gentlemanness, because for everyone it's different, I guess.
Yeah. I find it very refreshing actually to exercise the wheel of consent, which is like we just did it like in the evenings after babies in bed to have like it's not more than half an hour, 20 minutes, something like that,
Mm,
where you just make 4 rounds of 3 minutes.
yeah, we
The
have like
first
two
is like,
minutes just to give a reminder, like 2 more minutes to close it down.
yeah. So the first question is like for the partner, how can I serve you? What do you want?
Uh,
So really in service. The other question is like, for my pleasure, what can I do to you that you allow me to?
yeah,
You know. So I'm the doer, but I'm the one having pleasure doing it.
yeah, yeah,
And then you switch the roles. What do I need? What you can serve, what I can take.
yeah,
And the other one is like, what can I allow you to do you to me? What you actually enjoy. And having these 4 rounds of 3 minutes, it's so nice, refreshing, and giving and taking that I can really recommend doing it. Look it up, the wheel of consent. Just give yourself these 12 minutes. It's not more. It's maybe if you think about what you actually need, it's 20 minutes. But it balances the dynamics of giving, taking, and also enjoying and the boundaries that you put on your and your partner of what you allow yourself to give and to take. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, that was a nice, like, practical tool.
Yes,
Start.
yes, I love it.
That's good. So we close down. So thank you, Daniel, for taking the time and sharing your insights,
Thank you for
questions.
asking and letting me think about the gentleness
Yeah,
of man.
we need to bring it into life in different forms.
See you. Thank you.
Goodbye.